Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about my Baylen, the Haymaker deck. Baylen is RGW Legendary Rabbit Warrior 4/3. It has tap 2 untapped tokens you control, add 1 mana of any color, tap 3 untapped tokens you control, draw a card, tap 4 untapped tokens you control, put 3 1/1 counters on Baylen, gains trample until end of turn. So it's a token deck in the best colors for tokens. I'll show you some of the key cards for this. First up, we got some of the token doublers. We've got the Doubling Season, Mondrak Glory Dominus, and Ojer Talk Deepest Foundation. So these are just like straight up double stuff. Then there's also stuff like Ocelot Pride, where you can double stuff if you gain life. There isn't too much life or life gain in here, but it will happen on occasion. So. And stuff like Kadira, Collar the Small. Or it doesn't actually like double stuff, it just when it deals damage, doubles the number of tokens you have. It's a second harvest. You just create copies. Create a token for each token you have. And like Reese the Redeemed, where it's the same thing, just more repeatable. It is also that can help with that and a few other stuff. And a minor stacks piece is this Elish Norn. Its main reason it's here is the permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger tricks an additional time, which triggers the token doubling additional times. But locking down ETBs for opponents is also a nice thing. Another ETB from my side that can be helpful is stuff like this Perforos God of the Forge, War Leader's Call, and Impact Tremors that deal damage to opponents whenever creatures enter. So it's another thing that Elish Norn would double is with that. Then there's a few enchantments that are helpful in this deck. Stuff like Elven Chorus, where it's basically just turns all of your creatures into mana dorks. So let's have access to lots of mana. You can also cast creatures in the top of the library. Then there's Intangible Virtue, so it gives creature tokens +1/1 and Vigilance. And then a Cathar's Crusade. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So the Intangible Virtue and Cathar's Crusade will both help stuff get pretty big. Some other stuff, like some big token producers. There's stuff like it's called the Copper Coats and this March of the Multitudes, where it's an instant that will get stuff. March of the Multitudes, especially that having Convoke, you can create a number double to the tokens you have, kind of like Kadira, and call the Copper Coats. Depends more on how much opponents have, but you can pay the Strive cost and get a lot. And there's stuff like Skewt Swarm, where we'll create lots of tokens. Sorry, bumped the camera there. But creates lots of tokens on landfall. As does Maya, who also pumps all the creatures. And then there's Cranko, Mob Boss. He can create just a ton of tokens repeatedly. I have a whole nother deck helmed by him I'm building, but I feel like he fits well in here. There's a Myrel, Shield of Argive, some incidental stacks, plus its main reason it's in here is to create X11 soldier tokens, where X is the number of soldiers you control. And then there's a Galta and Mavrin, where whenever an attack, you could choose to create the tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur with trample, where X is greatest power among other attacking creatures. But more likely is the second ability, or create X11 white vampire creatures with lifelink, or X is the number of other attacking creatures, because it's creating more. And then let's finish that. Also stuff like Boss's Chef 4, or it will get big, and then when it dies, create a bunch of tokens. Stuff like Springheart no Tuco, where you can use it to copy some of the good non-legendaries. So, and if you don't, to just create a nice little one insect. One good target for it. It is banned, but can fit it in. The Rule 0 font. The Dockside Extortionist. Creates a bunch of treasures, which are tokens, which is the main reason he's in here. There's other stuff that I can swap him out for if I need to, but he's gonna be in the deck, and I can try to find places where I can play with him. But if I can get the Springheart Nantuko on him, it'll be a regular source of treasure. Opponents just need to have enchantments and artifacts to be mana positive if I use the treasures to use Nantuko's ability. Okay. Someone that buff people is Jetmir, Nexus of Revels. So just gonna more likely than not easily reach 9 or more creatures. So everything will have +3, +0, vigilance, trample, and double strike. And some win conditions. For combat damage win, there's a Crater Hoof Behemoth. So that one will be able to pump everyone really big. And then for another win con that'll be easy to meet is Halo Fountain, where with the third ability of 5 white, untap 15 tapped creatures to win. It's pretty easy, especially with Baylen's first ability, where he can tap 2 creatures, or tap 2 tokens for mana. So he could tap people to create the mana for Halo Fountain, and maybe use them for his other abilities too, or just have other tapped creatures, and then you get the 15 and win. So you can play that and then win on the same turn potentially. Now let's go through the rest of the deck. So here you got this Atla Palani Nest Tender. You can create the egg tokens, and they die. You can cast some creature for free. Or it's not cast in case it triggers for that, but it enters this privileged position to protect everything. Farmer Cotton, create plenty of halflings and food. So that's gonna be some life for the Ocelot Pride there. So, same with his Soul Warden. This is Nyx Bloom Ancient. Produce extra mana from stuff. Then Burgeoning to help provide some ramp. Strionic Resonator. The token doubling effects are triggered abilities, so I can do that. Spirit Bonds can get some spirits and then can gain some protection for people. Molten Birth, potentially repeatable tokens. Arcane Signet, Golden Guardian, which can turn into a land that produces tokens. The Gold Forge Garrison can pay 4 for a 4/4 Golem. Here are the Blade Hold, the Battle Cry, and creates 2 tapped and attacking soldiers, and Landa's Hierophant. Just similar to the boss of Sheffer, except for a bit less good because life gain is less prevalent than creatures entering. Assemble the Legion, can create plenty of stuff, and especially if we've got the doubling season out, can speed up the muster counters. The Jacked Rabbit can probably easily get the 5 or more for the Ravenous to get the extra card, and then create plenty of tokens. The Battle Hymn, add extra mana. Caretaker's Talent will get card advantage, can copy the best token, then be an anthem for tokens. Rise of the Ants, create some tokens, it has life, and it's repeatable. Plane Ride Celebration, create some tokens, some reanimation, can proliferate, gain 4 life. The Borborygmos, where she'll pump everyone with 1/1 counters, which deals damage. A Protean Hulk, when he dies, can search library for any creatures with total converted mana 6 or less and put them on the battlefield. An Artifact Mutation, destroy any artifact and create 1/1 green sapling tokens equal to its mana cost. Fierce Empath. There's a few stuff with value 6 or greater, including stuff like the Crater Hoof and Protean Hulk and Galta Mavrin. So, Fertilid's Favor. Can get some ramp and then pump a creature. Virtue Loyalty / Unveil Fealty. Can pay for the adventure, create a token, and then cast it for disenchantment later, and being the end step, put 1 counter on each creature and then untap them. So it can attack with everything, and then they'll untap for blockers. Nisa, which can put some +1, puts a 0/1 plant. The battlefield, it's -2, puts a 1/1 counter on each creature, and it's -7, puts gets you X life and X cards, or X is lands you control. This is a Smox Tantalite, which add 1 mana of any color after waiting 3 turns. Reaver Cleaver, just create treasure tokens. Terrastodon can destroy some stuff, either opponents, big thing, good things, and give them 3/3 green elephants, or my good things, or my bad things to get some elephants. The Harvest Season, where I could easily search my library for all of my basic lands and put them onto the battlefield. So that's some pretty good ramp there. Crankoton Street Kingpin, not quite as good as Mob Boss, but still pretty good. Puts 1/1 counter and creates that many goblins. Soul Ring, Tendershoot Dryad, create saplings, and then once you get the city's blessing, saplings get buffed. I get Instigator, but could have gone in the same place as the Impact Tremors, Perforos, and War Leader's Call. And it has the Offspring, so get 2 of that. Professional Facebreaker. We'll get some treasures. Torrens, Fist of the Angels. Creates a token with training whenever you cast a creature, so it can get more powerful. Rabble Rousing. You can get an expensive card hidden away, and then if you control 10 or more creatures when you attack, then you can cast that for free. So you can get out something big like Galton Maverin, which is 7, or Craterhoof at 8, or like Mondrak or Ogier Talk, which are both bigger, and you can play that for free. It's an Anem Pakal, which is pretty good. It can create lots of gnomes whenever she attacks. War Leader can pay the Offspring, then can choose when you attack to create a tapped and attacking 1/1 white rabbit, or give all attacking creatures +1/1 to end a turn. And if you have both, you can do both, or just choose the second ability or first, whichever is better for you. Archangel of Thune. Whenever you gain life, it has lifelink. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on each creature. And then there's Jungle Shrine, Boros Garrison, Gruul Turf, Command Tower, Creosote Heath, Bristling Backwoods, Braided Bluffs, Jetmir's Garden, and then basic lands. So I haven't managed to play this deck yet, but I feel like it's a pretty promising deck. Should be pretty fun. This one is not exactly the most budget-friendly deck, though I'm sure you could build it more budget. Sure to have a link to the Mox field in the description down below. You can check that out. And also, sure to check out the Patreon. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Bye.